Alright players, D-Day, I'm finally here, I'm back at the Else Club, and I'm going to see David. The plan is to hopefully fix the slice, which I've developed through a number of... Yeah, so finally made it to the Else Club. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. So what do we do? How do we go about this?
Yeah, so I think what we'll do to get started is just get you, hitting your normal shots, warm up like you would before you play.
Yeah.
I like to have a look at the very beginning, so like how you would approach it before you tee off.
Yeah.
Do you run to the first tee box? There's a lot of these things which I've missed out in some lessons. So
okay.
From my first lesson, it's how you warm up, and then get to see how you hit it without me doing anything for like 10, 20 shots.
Okay.
And then maybe the first part of the lesson would be how I would say you should warm up, what exercises, what stretches and stuff you can do before you play, and then give you a few things to work on until the next time I see you. Instead of going like full out and changing everything,
yeah,
we'll give you one or two things today, which will probably make a big difference. I know we're working on slice today, so 2 things that will correct that.
That would be
and then you might start to see the ball go too much right to left, but that's okay, because the next time you come in we can just sort of tone it down a bit and stuff like that. So yeah, I think for now just do your normal. I like to see maybe 7-iron,
okay.
So just warm up with the 7-iron like you would before you play.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a look, we'll take a few videos and stuff, and then you can see it up on the screen. I'll start explaining stuff, why it's happening, and then we'll go back and do what I would do before I play, just so you can see the sort of contrast between what I do versus what you do. And that's probably also going to lead to a lot more consistency. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So let's go 7-9. Yep.
Yeah. Perfect. Do you also just want to have a walk through what you have here?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
Let's have a look.
Okay, cool. So facility-wise, the stuff we use here, we've obviously got flight scope. We've got the XE Elite, which is sort of the top of the range radar. That tracks all your ball flies. It gives you all the club data and your swing data to just sort of narrow down what you're doing and try and explain it to you better. So when I tell you to do something, I can also show you and how you can relate to that as to why you're hitting a fade or a draw, or why you're pulling it. It's just very useful. And then on the computer, we've got the V1 software, which has got 360 cameras. So you've got one in front, one at the back of you, and then one down the line. That's in full slow motion, so we can really capture exactly what's happening in the swing frame by frame. I think it's up to like 300 frames per second, so it's pretty accurate. It's full HD. And yeah, I mean, we use top of the range TaylorMade golf balls, so the flight's pretty much the same as a real golf ball would be. And then for the swing lab, that would be what we do in here. So basically just cover swing. We'll go through maybe next door, because we have the sand putt lab there, so that's also another high-tech thing we use, which determines what your roll is going to be. Very accurate. It actually measures what your putt is doing throughout the stroke. So it's irrelevant what you're doing, in terms of where the ball's starting and stuff like that. It's basically just measuring your stroke. It gives you a determined launch, so it just helps you get the ball rolling on line better, and it obviously helps me help you sort of narrow down the little mistakes in your stroke. Putting's a very sort of personal thing. Yeah. I don't like to butcher everybody's putting, but yeah, we'll go through that a bit later, and then obviously, so just your normal warm up like you would before you play. So exactly the same stretches or whatever you would do. Just hit a few balls, we'll get it on camera, and then we'll have a look at it, and then I'll maybe give you a bit of advice on the warm up, and then we can start talking swing. Okay. So is this before I go out on the range, or go out? Well, before you go out onto the course, what do you do? So basically I just go through different flexibilities, so stretching, maybe going down, touching my toes. I would go and do shoulder rotations, so moving shoulders, warming shoulders up. Then I would move on to with a club and just doing a couple. Slow motion ones, Just see slow motion, that's my actual swing. What are you talking about? So just going through that, and
then from there probably go on. So not much more.
That's fine. Yeah, you just whatever you want to do and what you normally do. That's what I want to see.
I've seen Matt do one of these fancy things that he does
to warm up the forearms.
Yeah, but I've never done it.
Okay. That's alright. Cool. Yeah. So you just carry on like you normally would. Yeah. Pretend I'm not here. I'm just going to be standing here at the camera, so it's all good.
Cool.
Nice.
Does it matter where I am for the flight scope?
Just sort of in this line where you are there, just next to the golf ball pile is perfect. Just
Okay.
is good. Yep. Got pretty good reach, so it won't make too much of a difference.
Meter radius. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, so the other thing, like I get to, everybody's like, oh, I'm so inconsistent. But the more we start to look at data, the flight scope and stuff,
Yeah.
the more we start to realize as pros that guys are not actually inconsistent. They do the same thing consistently. Maybe a beginner who doesn't know what they're doing yet, but anybody who plays golf, like you're off at 28, but you play a lot of golf, right? So
Recently I've been playing lots more.
okay.
So I've played for a long time,
Yeah.
but I've played I've played around and then I've had long periods of not playing.
Yeah.
And then in the last year, the year before this, I played once every 2 weeks sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then this year now I'm trying to just, as I said earlier, just hit the ball at least once
Yeah, which is important. Once a week,
a week,
twice
a week, even if it's once at the range and once for 9.
Yeah, I think it's overlooked, everybody's like, oh, I'm busy, but
Yeah.
it's an hour out of your week. So
Yeah.
surely if you really want to get better, an hour out of your week is not too much to give up in my opinion. I have all these guys they work for Fitness First in Singapore and, they always say they're busy, but I said to them, how often do you go to the gym? They say 7 days a week for an hour. So I said, well, why don't you do 6 days? It's just as effective, but spend one of those hours on the range.
Yeah.
And ever since they've actually done that, they've said, it just takes dedication, essentially. But once they've done it, they actually start to enjoy it because obviously it improves everything. Yeah, they're going into gym, which is great because it keeps their fitness up, it helps golf. But going to the range once a week, and then I try and get them out once a week on the course.
Yeah.
So when you're doing that, like you said, either it's 9 holes or if it's on the range, you just keep reminding yourself of what you're doing. So you're just keeping that sort of muscle memory going.
Yeah.
It's very important. I mean, practice once a week is huge. A lot of guys don't do that. So I think you're on the right track there.
I mean, I'm consistent. I'm just consistently right.
Yeah, but that's okay because you can play like that. That's the other thing, and that's why you have been able to play.
Big
It's
one.
okay. That's all right. Get that sorted out. Don't worry about it.
Awesome.
Say one more for me.
Cool.
That's good. There's a bit of strike. Yeah. You can come have a look on the computer screen here with you.
Cool.
If you want to bring the camera, you can come and see as well.
All right.
Okay, so a few little things, and this is what I like about doing it like this, you know, like very, very simple. If I said to you now, look at your club face, what can you see?
It's open.
It's open, right?
Yeah.
You see your hands are behind the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way I teach, right, what I want to see is I want the left arm and the shaft to be in one line.
Okay.
In terms of this sort of that diagonal there. Because your hand's there, but your hands are behind, but your arm is there. So now you're creating so many different levers and so many different angles just from the get-go.
Yeah.
So we're going to work on that. And the reason we work on this is if I go a little bit further forward here, just go to in terms of backswing, actually pretty decent. What I really like what's going on there because the rotation is good.
Yeah.
A lot of what's happening is on the way down. So there's a few little things, there's a bit of a sway and you're sort of reverse pivoting a little bit, but we don't need to get into that right away. I'll show you how to get away from that with a different feeling essentially. So you're not even going to be thinking about that. You'll be aware that this here, see that angle there?
Yeah.
See your spine's almost starting to go that way.
Yeah. Okay.
I need it to be, so if I'm standing here, I need you to turn this way. You're starting to go that way. So from here, the only thing you can do is this. If you're behind the ball, you can turn through. It's like any sport, you know, like if you're pitching a baseball, you're on your right and then you push through. When you're playing cricket, you're back there and you're going through. Passing a rugby ball, it's all the same movement, but you have to use your body in that way.
Okay.
There, you're sort of starting here. You don't pass a rugby ball like that because you're going to pass it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got to think about your ball flights in terms of if you're throwing a rugby ball or whatever. If you throw a rugby ball, it's going to go up.
Yeah.
If you do that, it's going to go up.
Yeah.
You're starting with an open club face. So all of these things are leading to a sort of a weaker shot, is what I would put it. So it's a high right shot.
Yeah.
If we get those angles right, the club face will come through a bit squarer. So if you go a little bit further from here, you know, you start to turn your body, but look at that club face again. So if I show you slowly, look at where that club's pointing.
At that point, should it already be closed?
Well, you know, it's a combination of two things, right? So it's open,
Yeah.
and you're just using your arms to hit it. So it's
Okay.
still open. But if you turn your hips and your chest to the target, my hands already come down the line, so it will be a lot squarer than that.
Okay.
You would sort of just start that downswing with your arms and your hands, and because the club's in your hands, it makes sense. A lot of guys do that because that's what they're holding the club with. It's so hard to hear.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, open, hands behind again. So you're delivering what is a 7-iron,
Yeah.
you're delivering 9-iron loft to it.
Yeah.
So the reason you hit the ball shorter is because,
Well, it seems to be I have 100-yard mark where no matter what club I was hitting, it would not go past 100 yards. So I was hitting a 5, a 6, my pitch,
yeah.
all of the clubs, 100 yards. It was like there was a
And-
barrier.
Yeah, so, and the thing is, because you're delivering so much loft,
Yeah.
you know, that is going to be the problem. The other problem is once you hit that,
Yeah.
look at where the club goes, because you're trying to save it.
I'm trying to.
You're trying to flick it to make it go this way, right?
Yeah.
But look at your body, look at your hips and your chest, they're still facing where the ball was.
there.
So if I make a goal swing, right,
Mhm.
you're here.
Yeah.
I need you to be there.
So hips in front of.
So yeah, so what happens is from here, the first thing we do is we have a little squat, and then we rip the left hip out the way. So your left shoulder and your left hip go. That's it. There's nothing that happens with your arms and your hands. There's this belief that you're pulling. If you pull and you don't get it right with this rotation, you'll never hit it down. You're going to hit the ground. So we're going to just work on from here, that movement. Because once you get that movement, you get speed. The reason why you're not getting the distance is because the speed will be the same. Because you can only swing it as fast as you can with your arms.
Yeah.
You can create speed with your hips and your chest. If you go to the gym and you lift a weight with your wrist, it's 3 kgs.
Yeah.
You lift a weight with your legs, it's 100. So why not use your legs for the power?
Fair enough.
Okay? So we'll get started on that. I'm not going to get into this one yet. I just want to start on that. Okay?
Yeah.
This one, I mean, we can have a quick look, but it's not actually that bad. To be honest, I think it's just it's a lot of the same, where the backswing is actually not too bad.
Yeah.
The rotation on the back, that wrist angle is lovely. That's exactly what I want. But you can see it, the hips and the chest stop turning and you just come across it like that with your arms.
Ah, you can actually see him coming across it.
So you're doing this, and you actually need to do that. So you leave your hands behind, and that creates the speed.
So the hands are always lagging.
Now stay behind.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So let's give that a try.
Really nice to actually see that.
It's nice to see it in
Yeah.
slow motion as well, and it's very clear, so you don't have to guess. You know?
Yeah, because the thing is, I go to the range and I have the camera, and you try and sort of pause it, but with all the lines that and angles that you put in there.
Okay, so very simple.
Reconstruction step one.
Yeah, step one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take your setup like we said.
Okay, so this was all
Yeah.
set up. Yep.
So we're going to get this arm and the shaft in one line.
Yeah.
There. Okay.
So this is okay.
Yes. So it's that diagonal line is one.
Yeah.
Look at yourself on camera. Look at how everything is in one line there now.
Okay.
Look at the club face already.
Yeah.
If you put your hands back where they were, look at the club face.
Going up there.
Yeah. Left and open. That's what I want.
Okay.
Okay? Very
Fantastic.
simple. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to squeeze your arms to your chest as hard as you can.
Okay.
Okay? And then you're going to rotate your hips and your chest back like this. Just to
Right.
there. Just to waist height. And then from there we're just going to use hips and chest through like we did on the way back.
So very little in
That's
there.
it. Yeah. So
Okay.
we're just going to hit a few like that. So get your setup right. Make sure your hands are ahead. Hips and chest just to waist height. Don't open that club. Yeah, there you go. Good.
Okay.
Chest
So
there, and then from there, hips and chest, and hit it. Good. That's fine.
cool. Let's try that again.
So it's got to feel like somebody's pulling you back with your right shoulder. So your hips and your right hip and your right shoulder go together. No hands involved.
Feels very different.
It's going to feel very strange in the beginning, for sure. Yeah. Good. That's
And
okay.
left.
It's okay. I was just on top of the ball, that's all.
Okay.
Good. That's fine.
Should I might actually try slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, you can actually stop halfway and
Yeah.
check it, because if I go back there, you can just see on the camera screen where you are there. Look at how far back you got.
Yeah.
You see, so even though because you're using this, right?
Yeah.
You go a lot further back than you think.
Okay.
You used to do that, so you could feel where the club was. But as soon as I do this, I'm already here.
Yeah.
So it's a very slight movement compared to what you used to do.
Okay.
Good. Good swing. It's okay. Yeah.
I think my hands are coming forwards too
So
early.
you know why that club face is staying open?
Yeah.
The grip.
Okay.
Yeah. So this V here should be pointing up at your right shoulder. So even more over.
Okay,
You
because
should
I
see-
think it was in the original, and then putting it
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, so that's where I want you. You should see two knuckles there. That's it. And then this one can be a bit more neutral. There you go. So your left is to your right shoulder. Your right is sort of at your chin. The V and the fingers there. Yeah.
Cool.
And then you push ahead. There. That's it. Good strike. That's okay. The crazy thing is you're hitting at the same distance with half a swing.
Yeah.
Already you're getting that same distance, but you're not really hitting it harder, you're actually hitting it smoother. So get that left hand more over towards me. Even more. Yeah, that's it.
Jeepers.
I know it feels weird. This is the
Oh,
toughest.
that feels weird.
Yeah. Beautiful, look at that.
All right, I believe you. And that's the same distance as the full
As the
shot,
full swing. Yeah.
except dead straight. That's lovely. All right.
Do a few more like that.
Got that hand position.
It's very strange, I'm sorry. Beautiful. Look at that shape. Okay, better?
Yeah.
Yeah, just do
So
that.
how long was that? 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes, but it's okay. It's not going right to left yet. That's our end goal for today. So.
But I mean, that
it's playable. It's definitely playable.
Not right to left, but you can't believe how beautiful that feels.
And it's a nice flight, right? It's nice and high still, but it's not doing that. You can sort of hit it up the left and know it's just going to drift right. Thank you.
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
This wrist is...
Yeah. So your checkpoint would be in those fingers there, and then just turn it over so you can see those two knuckles. Yeah. And then this one you can relax more to the right. That's it. Yeah, there you go. That's good. Good. That's okay. Good. Lovely shot. Nice and straight.
Yeah, there was no shape on that at all.
Cool. Do you want to come have a look at this?
Right, round two.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just pull up the old one here. Okay, so
Oh, nice. So we can compare them.
yeah. So if we do this simultaneously here.
Yeah.
Look at what I'm talking about, that angle. Okay, so
Yeah.
there
That's completely.
and there. Look at your left wrist.
Yeah.
We're talking about that V, right?
Yeah.
So your V was there,
Yeah.
pointing that way. That leads to open club face. That's what's called weak.
Okay.
Okay? We turn that this way, the club face immediately squares up, but it's a lot easier for you to get that arm and the club shaft in the same line,
Yeah.
but also for you to release that club head. If your hand's like this, you're basically hitting like a backspin forehand tennis shot, essentially.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a drop shot when you're hitting it like that, as opposed to a topspin forehand shot hitting it like this.
Yeah. It's just one of those sports that I wish I had played as a child.
Yeah.
Why didn't you make me play tennis every day?
Yeah, I mean, it's, and then you can see the difference. I mean, look at this view. You can actually see the edge of the glove now.
Yeah.
Whereas there, it's pointing towards the target. At least now,
Oh, even underneath.
yeah.
Wow.
So you can see the difference already,
Yeah.
right? You do tend to go back to it because it feels so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But this one here, you made sure you kept it. So, again, look at these angles here. We're almost where I wanted. So that's the difference.
So what could I improve there? So basically
That would just be a little bit of a forward press. So you just put your hands there.
a little bit more.
Because you're like that, yeah. So you just want that. It's basically a wrist angle, right?
Yeah.
You're there.
Yeah.
You're there.
Yeah.
I just need you to be there. And that's all part of the grip as well. It's going to take some time getting used to it. It's very strange, right? But again, we play this one on the right. Again, nice turn. That feels waist height. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
So that to you feels like you're here.
Yeah.
Simply now because you're rotating. Before you used to pick it up.
Pick it up and then.
So now there's even more rotation than before with the hips. Your belt buckles rotate a hell of a lot. Your belt buckle's there. Your back's facing the target. So it's a lot more rotation. The swing is shorter because you're not using your hands and your arms. So this wrist hinge thing we're going to get rid of as well. No wrist hinge.
Okay.
You take it out completely. That means if you think about it, if I'm holding a club, right?
Yeah.
If I hinge my wrist, it's open. Or if I hinge
So even when I'm completely fixed, wrist hinge is not going to be a thing.
it is a thing, but it's a natural thing.
Ah, okay.
It's like everyone's talking about Sergio Garcia's lag. It's
Yeah.
a natural thing.
Okay.
He doesn't get lag by doing this. He gets lag by turning. It's the same thing. It's a misguided concept where everybody looks on YouTube, like we said, right?
Catch
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
This is what you do to get this, but they don't explain anything else.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing.
So fix that.
Yeah.
Wrist hinge will
Your
follow.
so your
If it
wrist,
does, yeah.
essentially, if you go back and you change direction, you can't hold your wrist in that position. It's unnatural for you to be able to hold it there at
Yeah.
that speed. So it will do this naturally.
Yeah.
And in the change of direction, it will hinge. But you're not trying to do it.
Well, one of the videos, one of the many videos I watched was like, okay, And if you want to correct your slice, you need to, and I think that's probably where that extra focus came from.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things you
in
can.
the same distance.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a lot less effort.
Yeah.
So, look at this. In terms of rotation of the body, look at where the hips go now. We haven't got that angle yet. You can see you
I'm sort of in line with it now,
Yeah.
as opposed to hands being in front.
Yeah.
My hips still need to be in front
Correct.
more.
Yeah, so you can, but I mean, at least now, as opposed to earlier, the hips are now turning. Because before we were straight down at the ball,
Yeah.
now we're here. So it's going to take a bit of work because it's a very strange
It
feeling.
feels so weird. Yeah.
But you can see when you do get it right, I mean, flight scope will show you immediately, that's a high fade. That's it. It's no slice, it started left the target, finished on target.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you want. It's a half a swing, it's got 90 meters with the 7 line. So, you know, when you get it right, it's going to be 120, 130, 100%. Especially when we get that shape. But the process is we need to get this right before we can speed anything up. I mean, we're not doing it at full speed either. That's the thing. So at half speed, you can get the same result because you're using your body for power. Look at the amount of rotation now.
Yeah, I'm completely.
So you're actually getting the body through. It's a bit late, which is fine, but the intention is there.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's just practice. And that's something you can do anywhere. I mean, you can do it in your bathroom. You can go, there's the mirror, cool. I'm there, hips and chest through. No flicking. You can do it from this angle, you can do it from that angle, so you can see that the hip's turning.
So my main focus is that hip muscle.
Yeah, so if you go to the, just take your posture, just watch the screen behind you. Yeah? So from there, you're just going to do a little squat, and then pull this up the way. Yes. So look at your chest where it finishes when you do that. That's where you want to be. There's a very cool drill I do with a lot of my guys back home in South Africa. Because I teach online, it's very hard for me to see things. So I try and give them something I know they can repeat.
Yeah.
So what we do is, if I'm setting up here, I hold the club at the ball, I pull my left hip, and I try and turn, and I hold the club there. Because that's the point of impact. That's where we want.
So you're emulating the actual impact.
So before you hit the shot, you're actually trying to get into that position. That's their pre-shot routine. They stand at the ball, and then they just pull. That's where I want to be. And then they go. Yeah. And you'll be amazed at how quickly your brain can adapt to it. But if you're not doing it all the time, I mean,
I mean, a lot of it's muscle memory, right?
Yeah.
And we're trying to.
Yeah. So you're just putting yourself. I have friends when they're in the MRT in Singapore. They're standing there going. But you know, they have time.
Yeah.
So whenever you have time and you're just doing this, it takes away all this other stuff.
I mean, my colleagues are going to think I'm.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Make sure that both hands are a little bit more to the right, so a bit stronger. And we're going to keep that same feeling. Chest back, hips and chest through. That's it, just like that. And you can feel like the club just does its own thing. Don't hold on to it, just let it whip through,
Cool.
I've given you a little drill here, which is very good for somebody who slices it, because it's going to let you know as soon as you've just used your arm.
I'm going to break your baskets.
It's okay. We have plenty. It's okay. So the idea is, so if you set up for me, get ready.
Yeah.
Check that grip. So your right hand a little bit more to me. This way. Yeah, there you go. So take it back with your chest. So you want to try and miss that basket. You see how quickly you go outside.
Goodness.
So I need you to go inside that. Yeah, and then on the way. Yeah.
That rapid.
Yeah. And then on the way down, same thing.
I'm definitely going to kill your basket.
So just do a few very slow motion. Right hand towards me. Good. So just chest back to waist height. Yeah, and then through. Good.
I think. So what I was basically doing before is I was trying to go up to bring the ball that way.
Yeah, and that causes more of a slice. Okay. So the funny thing about it is if you take your sit up, it's okay. Okay, so you come back to me, turn your chest back, just to here. Yeah, okay. So now if you turn your hips and your chest, go. Look at what happens. The club will go right.
Yeah.
But because of that nature and the hands and stuff turning through, the ball will start right and cut back. It's the opposite, and that's why everyone slices.
Yeah.
Because they see it going right, so they go, oh, I'm going to swing it more left.
Yeah.
And the more left you swing, the more open you hold that club face, so the more spin you put on it. So it's actually the reverse of what you think.
Yeah.
If you're hitting a slice, my best advice to you is to aim it right and try to start it right and bring it back. Because it's actually the opposite of what you think. You
Yeah.
actually need to start that ball right to hit it the other way. It's never gonna draw if you're cutting across it this way because you're putting left to right spin on it. So you want the other way. So you need to feel like you're going more around and then swinging more out.
Okay.
Okay. So just hit a few very slow motions, because it's gonna put you off that basket, but that's why it's there. Good. Swing looks good. So from here, just let the.
I'm gonna now do one of these and get rid of your basket completely.
It's okay. So just on the line of the basket.
On the outside.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Okay. So from here, just let your hands go. Don't hold on to it like that. Just let the hands go and the arms go. Beautiful. Very nice. Much better golf swing. So the first few you're gonna go, shit, that feels very strange.
Yeah.
Very, very awkward because it's a very different takeaway because you were picking it up with the arms. But once you've done it a few times, it'll become a bit more natural. Good swing. See, so now that's just starting there. It's not fading anymore.
Yeah.
It's just starting there,
Yeah.
which is what we want.
Okay.
Because if you look at, and that's why flight scope's so handy, it shows you club path. Okay, very important to
Yeah.
know these details. Club path
Just
there.
get this.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, move this up your way.
Cool. Let's have a look.
Okay, so when you first started,
Yeah.
this number here, so the club path means if that's straight,
Yeah.
which way the club's coming in. Is it
Okay.
coming in from this side? Is it coming this way? What's it doing?
Yeah.
Obviously, the closer to straight is better.
Yeah.
When you started, you were 13 left.
13.
So your club is literally coming across the line like this. So
Okay.
that's the target, you're coming like this.
All right.
You're now at 2. So we've taken 11 degrees off that by starting to use the body.
Yeah.
And obviously the basket drill helped.
Yeah.
But the more I can get you going that way, essentially instead of this
Okay.
way, the closer we're getting to you starting that and coming around again.
Yeah.
Your nemesis is the slice. This is going to eliminate the slice, but it's because you're using your body. So now that you know that you were 13 and you're 2, it's a very good way to go. Okay, actually no,
It's doing something.
we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going a little bit right with the fade, but it's a much higher flight, it's a much more playable flight.
The contact feels good
A
as
little
well.
bit more solid,
Yeah.
Because when you're doing this with the arms, you're just chopping at it. You're not
Yeah.
putting any power behind it. You feel like you're stopping here, correct?
Mm.
But now, because you're there, you're going, okay, well now I really got to do something with my body
Yeah.
to get that ball
Pull it
going
through.
somewhere. So it's a very good drill because you're stopping here, no momentum, is it like compared to where you
Yeah.
were, and then you're forced to get that body through. So that's very, very handy. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully we can get
Okay.
that a little bit right at the end of the lesson.
Go to that.
Yeah, and then you start to focus on very good technical things,
Yeah.
but it's not
That's
you're not
nice.
it's not too technical. You
Yeah.
understand what that means
Yeah.
now and how important that is for what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah. It also it's nice to see numbers.
Yeah.
Like see, okay, well I need to get that to 0 or I'm assuming
Right.
negative.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So that would be on a different platform. There is positive and negative,
Yeah.
where we just work with left and right.
Okay, so basically-
you want it to the right,
Yeah.
because that means you're actually getting that club closer to your body and more out. And
Yeah.
You're getting a bit more extension, which leads to power.
And if I was going for a beginner ideal flight path, would someone want to have a straight, obviously not a fade because that's going to be, unless you're going for a green, but would they want to try and get a draw, a fade, or a straight? What would you say is a good place to aim for?
Look, I think very importantly,
Yeah.
it's very hard to hit the ball straight.
Yeah.
So everybody listening will be like, oh, but
Yeah.
I want to hit it straight.
Yeah, yeah.
There's not a single person out there who tries to hit it straight. If you look at the pros, they either hit one shape
Or
the other.
another,
That's
yeah.
it. They can do both,
Yeah.
or if they're in a situation where they need that, but that's a different level of game. For a beginner, we're going to take a look at these things and then try and give them something which feels a bit more natural. and generally speaking, it will be a fade.
Okay.
If they start to hit big hooks as a beginner, you're going to try and get them to go to this little bit of a fade.
Yeah.
Because normally, if they hit a hook, which is very rare, it's because they're just using hands and arms, and then that's causing it to. It's the same process essentially to get them as close to zero as possible. That would be my best advice.
Okay.
And then once they've practiced it and they start getting good contact and they're consistent, we can start teaching them either one or the other and try to find one that's comfortable, I would say.
Awesome.
Okay. So this is before.
Yeah.
Okay. We're averaging 90, maybe close to 100 when you get it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like magical barrier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So over here is where we are now. That was your last one, which was your best one.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I go 80, 90, 100 carry.
This was a lot of them.
Yeah. So those were the first few, right?
Yeah.
That was when we were at that 13, 14
Yeah.
swing putt. Last few have been 3.2.
Yeah.
The really good ones, which you can see, like that last one, actually had a bit of a draw on
Yeah.
it because you actually happened to square off the club face. 50 yards with a half of that. So
60 from my first one. 60 yards.
Yeah. So all of these angles much closer to zero. Strikes better. Your swing speed's 10 to 15 miles an hour quicker with the 7 iron. So that means with the driver, this is going to be over 200 yards. We'll hit a few drivers.
Yeah, because I'd love to do that as well, and possibly my favorite club is actually my
rescue.
my four hybrid.
Okay.
So I'd love to test that one out.
Yeah.
As well.
So I think.
But this, if for nothing else, that made this whole time worth it because that feels incredible.
That's good. I mean, as long as there's no pain.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important that you can remember it. To me, that's the biggest thing.
Well,
I want you,
It's like three or four
things,
steps.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the nice thing when you come see me, I'll jot up the WhatsApp or whatever and I'll send it over to you so you can remember it.
And you go get your app which shouts at me.
Hopefully, yeah. And that's in process. But I think for me, that's a huge improvement.
Yeah.
And you can just see it. I mean, you can hear it in the sound. You can see it in the ball flight. It's a lot higher. It's a lot straighter. They're generally starting left of target and just working their way back, and that's obviously what we want. So you're still consistent, but you've added 50 yards.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the big thing. Where you were consistently 13, you're now consistently 3 or 2.
Yeah.
That's made a big difference, and your speeds have increased because of the way the body's working.
Yeah.
So that's good. Okay. Good job.
All right. So, in terms of now moving from a shorter iron to a hybrid, is there anything that would change in my setup?
Your distance from the ball will change, obviously.
Yeah.
But we'll still use the same system. So you'll still be, if there were a 7 iron, you'd be somewhere there. But now you'll be a little bit further away. But using that same system with the right hand, you'd get into the right distance from the ball immediately because it's an unchangeable variable. Your arm's the same length all the time.
Okay.
For now, I don't want to work on ball position. We'll do ball position when you're hitting a fairway wood or a 3-wood. That'll move up to your left toe.
I don't even hit them because I can't.
Well, you could. You can hit them. You'll be able to hit them, and we'll try hit them as well, so I can show you that it isn't impossible.
Okay.
But just try and focus exactly the same swing.
Same thing.
Same thing. That just the chest to the waist height, and then turn hips and chest through. Do a few slowly at first because that bucket's
And this is still
correct. Yes. So you're still trying to keep the left arm.
Pretty much identical.
Everything's the same. Everything will be the same. Nice. That's okay. That's a little high fade, but that's alright.
Also had a little bit of a break, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, first one off the bat, good strike, good distance, so that's fine. Lovely. Yes. That's awesome. That's great.
Okay.
So you see with that strike now, you're going to get more distance, so that's now 163.
Yeah.
So once you get comfortable with this, you'll probably have a club with that sort of 10-yard incremental gap. Which
Yeah.
is important. So you have a different club from different distances.
Ideally, yeah.
Because, like you were saying, everything was going on,
100 yards.
and then the drive obviously goes a bit different. But you want to have that gap because
Yeah.
the gap helps you, so you can know all your distances. It's fine. It's okay. Nice and high, pretty straight. It's got a little fade on it. I think you are holding on to it a little bit still. Just let the arms rotate. Let those forearms rotate over after you've hit it. Yeah.
Alright.
Swing part's great. Still at 2.8, so that's also a little bit left, which is great. Just make sure you turn those hips and the chest fast and let the hands and the arms come through naturally. Don't hold on to it. Nice. Good. Consistent. It's that same high fade every time.
I mean, the striking feels good.
Yeah, it's a nice strike. I think because it is a bit longer, that club, it is a bit trickier to strike it consistently.
Yeah.
So, it will take a bit of time, and just to get that rhythm and to get the feel of when am I turning and how much am I turning as opposed to a 7. It should be the same, but because it's longer, it makes it a little bit more tricky to strike. Good. See, that one went the other way.
Went the other way. It's just a little bit on the fat side.
Yeah, that was just not enough turn with the hips and the chest. You let the arms and the hands go.
And the funny thing is, I felt that in my shoulder.
Yeah, it was a little bit sort of very important. You can go back to just practicing. Let's try and get into that position again.
Okay, so there.
Yeah,
There.
good. Yeah, and then you just fold that left hip back. All the way through. Yeah, so just leave it there, yeah, like I showed you.
I'm going through, right?
Yeah, turn. Try and get there. That's it. That's where you want to be.
At impact.
Yep, that's your impact position.
Really?
Yeah. So that's how much you have to turn.
Alright.
And you will never get into that position because you're rotating back.
Yeah.
But we over exaggerate that feeling so that you
So-
can get closer to where you need to be. Yeah.
Fair enough. Cool.
Oh yes. Like that. So there's the
That
high
works.
draw. High draw we've been waiting for.
That works.
200 yards. So, that's what I'm talking about in terms of letting the hands go,
Yeah.
but also letting the body still do the work. Don't just let the hands go and leave the body behind, because then you're going to get it fat and you're going to
Yeah.
get an injury.
And the only thing I was thinking about there is trying to have that level of tension at the impact.
And the more you do it, the more used to it you'll get, and the more you'll be able to rotate. It increases speed, increases distance, increases consistency. And it's a very little thing,
Yeah.
but you've reminded yourself once and you've hit a good shot. So if you do it every time, of course you're going to hit more good shots.
Yeah.
Check that right hand. Yeah, good.
Hit the basket.
Yeah, that was just the hands. So try it every time now. When you set up,
Yeah.
get that position. Make sure that the hips and the chest are going as well. I don't want you to fall into the trap that from here, instead of now just doing this, you're just doing the opposite with the hands flicking. You've got to make sure that it's that. If you do this with your hands and your arms, you're going to hit it with a snap hook, and that's not what I want. I need you to get the hips and the chest going, and then just let the hands do their natural movement. That one there was just hands and arms.
Yeah.
That's not what I want. I want a lot of hips and chest as fast as you can, but let the hands and the arms follow. Okay. Yeah, good. Lovely. That's your best swing today. Beautiful high draw.
Damn, that felt good.
So you're now at 200 versus 163.
Yeah.
So you see how you can pick up so quickly by just going back to those
3 shots.
Yeah. Speeds up, ball speed will be up because the strike is better, and yeah, 0. So you're hitting into that ball very square. So it's very hard for that ball to go anywhere because you're not putting any side spin on it. Yeah. 192 with that club's great. Good. That's okay. That was a little bit of arms. But I think it's, you know, the thing is there, you are still making that positive move with the hips and the chest. The timing thing is another thing that'll take a bit of time. You'll see there 6.3 left, and that's why we went with the hips and the chest, but you also pulled
coming around.
Yeah. And that's okay, because that's playable, right? It's a 200-yard shot.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of a pull. It's still in the fairway. I mean, it's not a bad. It's actually your longest carry.
Yeah.
So that's good. Lovely. Wow.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's dead straight. 100% perfect. Up in the air. 180 carry. No shake on it at all. Look at that. Let's just follow the line. 180's golden.
I'll take that. You are a man of your word.
I did promise you.
You did.
There you go. That's actually hooking.
Yeah, hooking.
That's okay. That's fine. That's again just a bit of arms.
Okay.
Path was pretty good. You just flipped it a bit with the hands and the outer ear. It's alright. Cool. I'll change that to 3 wood.
Ah.
So we've gone 90 to 150.
Yeah.
So 7, 160 to 200 with this club, 400.
Yeah.
And
you also remember that club when I was by myself was sometimes only hitting that 100-yard mark as well.
yeah. So you can see now how everything would filter into each other.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So you could go 7, 150, 6, 160, 5, 180 or whatever, and then that anything over this one between 180 and 200. And then once you start to hit your 5 wood and your 3 wood, you know, then you were up, when they were talking 250 with a driver. So,
nice.
and it can happen, and you'll see it will happen. They will incrementally go up because the club's getting longer. But the swing's staying the same. So this one here, as soon as we get to fairway wood,
Yeah.
move the ball up into our inside our left hand.
Okay.
So where you would have your driver. That's a little bit too much.
I haven't actually done that with my driver. For a
Okay.
long time I've been driver center.
Okay, yeah. So I'd like it in front, yeah. Because the lead is a bit longer, you want to be hitting that a little bit more, a little bit later, so you can keep that buffer square. Same thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Lovely. Thought you couldn't hit those.
I can't. I haven't ever been able to hit that nicely.
So that's just dead straight. It started slightly left because the swing was a bit to the left, but it's over 200 yards, 210.
And I've never hit that well.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot less movement. The reason it went left again, swing path.
Yeah.
Why do we swing it left? I've moved the bucket out of the way and immediately you've gone back to hitting it with the arms.
Okay.
So remember that same movement with the chest. Take it back, waist tight, and then really get the hips and the chest through. Yeah. Good. Good. Lovely shot. So now you've got a club which carries 180. This is 3 wood, so your 5 wood would probably go 190, 195, and then anything over 200 you have a club as well. So when you're playing a course like the Else Club here, and it's a bit longer, if you're getting it out there 220, 230 with a driver, you can reach the green. On a long par four.
Yeah.
Where before, if you're hitting it 100, we spoke about it the last time you played. You said it's just long. You know, it's a long golf course.
Couldn't
It's
reach
soft, so you're always hitting a wedge for your third shot.
Yeah.
Where you want to come under 90, you need to be around the greens. Your short game is quite good, as you said. If you're around the green for 2 instead of around the green for 3, that's
Massive.
18 shots off your 100.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what you need. Lovely swing, man. Beautiful strike. Nice and straight again. It's going high as well. See, it's just that it's your 200, 210 club there.
Yeah, but I'm hitting it and it's getting off the deck. Whereas
Yeah.
before, I was topping it and I was doing all sorts.
Yeah, look, when the club's just doing this,
Yeah.
that's probably the toughest club in the back.
Oh yeah.
Because there's so little room for error.
Yeah.
If you do come slightly over it or you do hit a bit fat, the ball goes nowhere because it's got such a small surface area. If you look at it, it's a very flat club.
Yeah.
Where an iron's got a little bit more
Yeah.
give, and a driver obviously has a lot more give.
Yeah.
So, if you can do this consistently, you'll hit every other club consistently.
Yeah.
Because that is the toughest one to get off the ground. There's a lot less loft, so you've got a lot less forgiveness. There's a lot bigger chance of you slicing it. You haven't sliced one. You've hit a little high fade every time, and that's okay. The occasional pull, but all of these are 200 yards. So generally speaking, if you're coming in from 200 yards, you're going to have a bit of wiggle room left and right to degree.
But what amazes me is that those couple of steps I've applied to every club. And I mean, it's not like I've been practicing this for 6 months. I've
Today,
hit this
it's an hour, yeah.
4 shots,
Yeah,
and I'm done.
yeah.
Oh man.
That was with
Little
the
bit
arms
on
and
the
the
back.
hands. Yeah. So that was hands and arms.
Hands and arms.
The hips and the chest didn't lead that downswing. You pulled down with the arms. As soon as you pull down, the club comes down into the ground.
Cool.
Get the body out the way. Yeah. Good.
A little bit at the top.
Yeah. Keep that length of the backswing the same. Take it back with the chest. And don't hesitate. I think often what I see is you hit one fat, so you overcompensate on the next one.
Yeah.
I don't think that last shot was a bad swing. I think there was an overcompensation because you hit the ground on the
Yeah.
last one. I see it all the time with the guys that I teach on the golf course. They hit one thin, and then they
Next
go,
one.
the next one I'm going to take a divot, and
Yeah.
then they take a massive divot. Don't change it. You're allowed to. The thing is, a lot of guys don't understand. You're allowed to make a bad swing. You're
Yeah.
allowed to hit a
Yeah.
bad shot. We all do. When you play golf with me, you'll be like, how does he shoot 1, 2 under par every time? How? It's just consistency.
Yeah.
And the acceptance, right? I accept. I don't practice a lot.
Yeah.
I accept that I'm going to hit bad shots.
Yeah.
But I don't let it get to me. And I don't try and change or fix my swing immediately.
It's just a once-off.
I just keep plodding.
Yeah.
Keep plodding, keep trying to make good scores. At the end of the day, I hit a few really bad ones yesterday, but I was walking off with pars.
Yeah.
And guys were going, "Wow, how do you do that?" And it's just, you accept it.
Yeah.
Fine, I hit a bad shot. We all do. The pros do it on TV
Yeah.
all the time. But it's what they do from there which counts. They don't all of a sudden hit one right and go, "Oh, I'm going to change my whole golf swing now."
Yeah.
You'll never be good. You've hit so many good ones. Now that you've hit one bad, don't revert. Just
Yeah.
go, I'm going to do the same thing. Maybe I was a bit off with my timing. That's it. Same process, same. You follow the same steps. If you hit a bad one, it's okay. It's one of those things. We're all going to hit bad shots. Don't be led to this misconception now that you've hit 5 good ones in a row that you're always going to hit a good. No, you will hit a bad shot.
Yeah.
That's why you're not on TV.
And also,
That's it.
I mean, I've just started this, and
Correct.
I've seen 50, 60-yard gains on every club.
Yeah, so it's a lot easier to accept. You go, fine, made one bad one, okay, we
Yeah,
can deal with that.
exactly. Big time I can deal with that.
And then you hit one like that.
Yeah.
That's 220, that one. That's a big one.
Take that.
Well, it stopped quite quickly because it was high, but I mean, it's still a 200-yard shot. Okay.
Oh, that also, yeah.
Driver.
Driver. Let's do it.
I don't know if you like this club or you hate it, but
I actually, I prefer going off. This club is the one club that hasn't ever hurt when I've hit it.
okay.
But I mean, the swing that I used to do,
Yeah.
obviously not anymore, but I used to because of shoulder, because of
The pace.
YouTube videos, because of all of that.
Yeah.
The only way I could hit it You're gonna laugh, and Matt laughed at me also. I would be all the way over the top. I would go down as low as I can, keeping hands down, and then I'd hit it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to put you through that.
That's okay. No, that's fine. I mean, it's very interesting what you hear on YouTube, right?
That might have been a little bit of a YouTube and a little bit of my interpretation.
Yeah.
So
well, exactly. Right.
it's the only way that I could get it to go. And
Yeah.
for a couple of rounds, it was going straight and it was going right. But then
you lost it a bit.
Yeah.
And then you changed the game. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
Same, different?
There are slight differences.
Yeah.
Your ball position is going to be where we just had you through wood. Okay,
Yeah.
so inside the left heel. But when I'm teaching people how to hit driver, there's a few little nuances that you need to understand why the ball goes further when you do certain things.
Okay.
Okay, so when we're with an iron or a 3-wood, our shoulders are going to be very level.
Yeah.
Because we're hitting it off the ground, our shoulders need to be level.
Yeah.
So we're going to do shoulder plate. So your shoulders, all you're going to do is you're just going to tilt the left a little bit.
Okay.
Not like this.
Yeah.
But just, you can see what I do. So if I show that to the camera, right, that's square to the ground.
Yeah.
What it does is if I do that, look at where the club points.
Up.
Points up.
Yeah.
Up is very important with the driver because we're trying to get loft.
Yeah.
So the more loft we get with obviously the other good variables like spin and speed, the higher that ball goes, the further it goes, the longer it stays in the air. And also, if you're hitting it higher, you're going to tend to hit it on the way up,
Yeah.
which is a good thing because it takes off side spin and back spin.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do same setup in terms of ball, tilt the shoulders a bit,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much it actually. I would say for now, we'll get onto the other stuff, but for now, so that there's not too many variables, we're going to go inside the left heel, tilt the shoulders, and then we're just going to go chest back, hips and chest. Just like that. Okay?
Lovely.
Very simple, same backswing, don't go any further.
Yeah.
We're just going to go back to our waist height, feel versus real.
Yeah.
Your waist height is there in your swing now, but the feeling is here. So
Yeah.
we'll keep it at that because that's getting the results that we need.
Cool.
Okay, so just ball position, again like the 3-wood, and then let's get those shoulders a bit tilted, yeah? Okay, so your distance, yeah.
And it's still
Yes,
in line with
correct.
mine.
So you're trying to get that in one line. So you see now, let's go back there. See now how you put the hands behind the ball.
Yeah.
Move that. Yeah, there you go. That's it. So left arm and shaft one line. Again, if you do this, adding loft.
Yeah.
Okay? So you fall into that same trap where the ball's going to go high with the slice. Okay? It may look a bit strange, especially on camera. The viewers will go, but his hands are far ahead. From that angle, it may look like it, but when you put it from the actual face on,
Yeah.
you'll see it's just one line.
It's just one line.
Show.
So I was to do
Yeah.
it there.
So you were.
There.
Yeah, that's it. Good. Because you were here.
Yeah.
So immediately that club starts to open and face left,
Yeah.
which means you're going to swing left with the wrong shoulder.
That's it.
Correct.
All right.
Same swing, just make sure you tilt those shoulders a little bit for me, yeah? Yeah, lovely. It's okay. A little bit of a high slice, but that'll take some time. Again, you've had a bit of a break.
Yep.
Just really focus. I've taken that basket away, but I really still want you to focus on this.
Bringing it out.
Bringing it in with the right hip and the right shoulder instead of picking it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't try to hit it any harder. Very important. Let the club do the work for you. Okay, so you see now when you've pulled left,
Yeah.
that's a good sign. Little bit of an overcompensation
Yeah.
here. A little bit too much arms on the way down instead of the
Okay.
hips and the chest. That would have been a little straight, maybe a little draw if you had just left the arms out of it. It would have started straighter. As soon as I'm here and I pull with the arms, same thing. Swing path, 5.1 left. With the driver, I need it going a little bit more out. Because that's going to increase your chance of hitting that ball on the way up and taking some spin off. Good distance though, 243.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're up at where I said 250 is pretty good for you, and that'll also help you in terms of the distance gapping. Yeah. Tilt those shoulders. So we're just going to let me know when you're ready.
Yep.
Okay. And then you're just going to do that.
Wow. So it actually feels like my bum is pointing that way.
Yeah.
Right?
So you were like this. So don't make sure when you tilt you don't do that. It's there. Okay, so you basically can tuck the right arm in, and that's it. There you go. You'll feel like you're way behind the ball now.
That feels very much way behind.
Okay. That's okay.
Yep.
So, another thing, we're talking about common theories on the golf course. You do that on the first tee. What does your mate say to you? My head came up.
Yeah, my head came up.
Your head came up, you jumped on it. No.
Yeah.
You're now hitting the ball on the way up, so you've got to stay down a little bit longer. That's it. You're now hitting it there, which is a good thing. It's not a bad shot. It's just a new position. You used to do this. Because you're doing that, you're hitting it on the way up. So you just caught it. It was almost too much on the way up, which is a good thing because we've changed from the hitting down on it.
For a focus point there, what do I do so that I hit it lower?
Same thing. So you just go there.
Okay.
I want to be there. I don't want to be there. So
Okay.
don't try and lift it. Just stay there. With that shoulder angle, you'll hit the ball. So don't try to lift the ball up in the air. Very important with the driver. Okay. Just swing that same swing, but make sure you're still firing with the hips and the chest. That shoulder angle is going to allow you to hit it on the way up. Don't try and hit it any different. Just use that shoulder angle to enable that swing path. There you go. Much straighter. See? That's okay. A little bit high, so it's spun a little bit, but that's okay. It's still going to go, out on the course. You'll still get it out there at 200 yards, and that's been a mishit. I still feel like you are tending to go back to this thing instead of really getting the hips out of the way. So focus on getting those hips out of the way.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're just going to start using your hands and your arms again for speed.
Okay. Can we just put those there?
Sure. Yeah.
It's cool. So you can plug those anywhere now?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the actual
ranges.
So you don't have to use the rubber tees, right?
Yeah. Hate those rubber tees.
Okay.
So
Shoulder tilt. Really make sure you get the hips and the chest through. Chest back, hips and chest through. Yeah, that's where we want to be. Good. That's fine.
And I don't think I'm releasing my...
Yeah, you're holding on to it slightly. It's not bad though. I mean, it's still going 200. The ones where you get it at 240 is where, yeah, you're right. You let the hands and the arms just do their natural thing. But sometimes you're still holding. Just let it go.
There you go.
The biggest.
There goes my club.
Yeah, well, you joke. I think it's the Jatanagon Tile sisters.
Yeah.
Their coach actually makes them release, let go of the club in the range. Yeah. So that they really just feel like they're not doing anything. The club just is like butter in the hands. They're not squeezing onto it. So you create that speed of the hips and the chest and just let the hands and the arms rotate naturally. There you go. That's a very different ball flight. That has a little draw on it. Yeah. So you see it just gives you a little bit more speed.
Yeah.
Because you're not holding on, it's a lot more relaxed. And then we're up at 236, and that's closer to where we want to be. Anywhere between 230 and 250, you're okay.
Yeah.
That's a much better ball flight. Nice high draw.
Yeah.
So instead of the slice, we've now got a problem where sometimes you might hit a bit of it, you'll overdraw it. It'll be a slight hook. Which is okay in the beginning. After one day, it's okay. No,
One
okay,
day.
I've just used too much arms.
One day, 4 balls.
4 balls.
5 balls.
Let me get you a tee. So yeah, don't be scared to just let those forearms rotate naturally. Don't flick, but just let them rotate naturally. Don't hold on to that club. How tight are you holding it? Out of 10.
I guess the main thing, you know what, what about it? On the follow through, a 7.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that part,
Yeah.
I could probably
Relax it a little bit, yeah.
relax it a little bit.
That'll just add speed to the club head, that's all you're getting, so that's a good thing. If you relax it, it will just come through a bit quicker. Yeah. Beautiful. Really nice. I mean, you can do that all day.
Yeah.
And now it's just starting there and staying there. That's okay. 231. Ball speed's great. Swing path's great. We're up at 3 again, 3 left. So, you know, you're swinging it consistently on that same line.
Yeah.
And that's all we want with the driver, because it means you, with the new technique and no wrists, you're gonna get, you're gonna get a lot less side spin on that ball. So you're gonna get a lot less shape because you're releasing it and the body's getting out the way for the club to come through. You're not gonna get that big high right anymore. And if you do, you know exactly what you've done. You just haven't released the body or the arms like they naturally should.
The amazing part is I'm not thinking of, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this. Literally all I'm thinking about is my left hip.
Yep. Yep. So you just take it back
And
to
then-
the chest and then.
And then obviously my initial setup.
Yes, correct. Which will obviously become more natural, but you're just thinking about it today because we've just started it.
Yeah.
So- Okay, so that was the old one.
That was the old one, yeah.
So, here's your tee. So again, that one there.
Pulling back, okay.
Get through it with the hips and the chest. Don't try and hit it up. Let the shoulder angle create that swing path. Don't you try and hit it up. Just turn your hips and your chest. Release the hands and the arms. Let them go through naturally. Very relaxed in the hands. That's it. And don't try to hit it. That's the most important thing with the driver. Just turn your body. You can turn your hips and your chest front, but don't try to hit it with your hands. Yeah, there you go. That's very different. Nice. Good. That came a little bit high off the face, but it didn't spin as much, so you still got it over 200.
That's awesome.
Nice and straight. It will sometimes have that fade on it, but it's not a big fade. It's not so severe that you can't control it. The one thing I do see, as soon as we take away the bucket, you start to take the hands.
Okay.
I don't like to teach you to do this with the bucket because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
So you could snap the shaft and you could, I don't want you to hurt yourself. But just, even if it's, you're on the range and you get ready, while you're warming up, overdo this and then just exaggerate the feeling.
So it's literally, it's there.
Yeah, that's it, that's it. Good. Just do that again for me. Another interesting thing, so back to here. So immediately you've gone to open club face using your hands. You're not turning your chest back.
Okay.
Look at how the club face is square. You were doing this.
Ah, okay.
So no hands, none of this. Just there. Now my hand's straight, so the club will be straight. Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't take it away like that. Just use that right shoulder. So if you sit up, literally the feeling is I'm here and I'm just going to do this. Look at the difference in that wrist.
Yeah.
Look at the club face being square. You were there.
Yeah.
So look at the badge of your glove where it goes. Straight. All of that will be in one line.
Okay.
So you can check it. That's another checkpoint when you, especially with driver. You don't want to be adding too much loft to that driver.
Yeah.
You want to hit it with a natural loft, then let the shoulders create that loft. Don't you try open the club face to get it to go up high. So right shoulder back. That's it. There you go. That's square. immediately left. Yeah?
Yeah.
A little bit left, but that's okay.
That's about. Yeah, no, that's great.
That's just not enough hips and chest on the way through. But we weren't really focusing on that one there. We were just trying to focus on that club where it is on the backswing. So just make sure now, same thing on the way back, and then get the hips and the chest through. Keep it nice and smooth. Yeah. Beautiful. There's your absolute perfect little draw like you want.
Yeah.
Look at the distance on that. I don't know if you want to get the camera on that so they can see the difference. So, again, the reason it went left, a little bit of that swing path, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit more hips and chest out the way. Again, beautiful launch, so you're launching it nice and high. The spin number there, 3137. For your swing speed, that's pretty ideal because it's going to keep the ball in the air a little bit longer. The high ones that you hit in the beginning, the ones that are just ballooning out, 180, 6,000. So we've halved the spin on the driver. And we've done nothing else but eliminate that wrist.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's almost exactly the same as everything else, but just make sure, especially with the driver, that you're not doing this thing. You used to do it, you were showing me that other way where you're leaning low and hinging. You don't need that anymore. Keep that wrist as straight as possible, then you get numbers like that, and that's the difference. You know, you're getting very good club head speed. That's very high.
Okay.
I mean, most amateurs are around 100. So you were about 98, 99.
Yeah.
Where now, because you're getting the confidence to rotate, 105, 106, that leads to 270 drives instead of 240, 230. Okay, so the combination of that ball now, yes, it started a bit left, but we know why, which is important, but it's got the right shape on. You were not hitting a draw when you came in here. You're now hitting a draw, you're hitting it with less spin, and you're hitting it 60 yards further.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with that, when does shaft actually matter?
Shaft's important. It's a whole new story for another day.
Another day.
There's a lot of theories and stuff like that, but a shaft is another thing where you're not a stiff or you're not a regular or an X. It can be any.
Okay.
There's a specific shaft out there for everyone, and I think it's important not to just buy what's on the shelf when you get to the right level.
Yeah.
At your level, once we get you under 90 every time, sure, we can go and have a look. I wouldn't change anything now because you've bought this set, you like what it feels like, you're comfortable. I wouldn't just keep chopping and changing. Get used to them, it's a good set, good quality. You are very much a regular shaft player.
Cool.
I think once we get you doing this movement a bit better and you get more speed, because that's not the end of it, it's going to get higher.
Yeah.
With the rotation and the confidence, you'll get up to 110.
Yeah.
Then we're going to be looking at stiff, maybe extra stiff.
Okay.
But again, it's something that you're going to have to use the whole round. So you're warmed up now.
Yeah.
You're doing it at 105, and that's probably your max for today.
Yeah.
Don't go to the shop, and that's the main thing. You go to the shop and then you've hit 30 drivers, and the guy gives you the most expensive one last, and you swing it at 105, but you started at 95.
That's a good
and then
thing
you're hitting
to
it further. Of course, you're hitting it
Yeah.
further because you've warmed up. Don't hit a few shots, especially if you're buying something. Hit a few shots with all of them to warm up, and then go again, and then do a testing. Don't just go based on what you've hit last. Because you're going to be warmed up. So the more you warm up, the looser you get, the further the ball goes. We saw it with a 7-iron.
Yeah.
With a better technique, obviously that improves, but it's not going to be 50 yards from cold to hot. But it can make that 15, 20 yard difference if you start cold and then you warmed up.
Yeah.
But the short answer is, don't change your clubs. Get your swing right. See a pro. Get your swing perfect.
Then
score better. Then go get clubs. Custom fitting is very important, but you're going to do it a lot if you start at a 28 handicap. Because your swing's going to be changing every time. So rather stick with what you got and make the swing a bit better, a bit more solid, and get solid results, and then we can talk about that. But from off the bat, no, unless they're really old clubs that are not helping you. These are designed to help players get better. If you're starting off with blades, I would say we need to get you a set that's going to make the game more fun. But obviously you've got the right route, you've got the right gloves for you. And
beginner set, I love the set.
No, they're good. I think for now you stick to what you're doing. It's working for you.
Well, it is now. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. But I think to me, for one day, that's
Magnificent.
a huge improvement. I mean, to be saying you're hitting at 270 with your driver when you get hold of it is a massive step. So,
And that's however many shots that was. That wasn't fun.
yeah.
All right, David, thank you so much.
And
That
thanks
was
for coming by. Yeah.
probably the most beneficial hour 10, whatever it was, that we spent. I highly recommend. Don't do it on your own. I've had a slice for now since Matt's last video on that YouTube on his channel. I've had that slice since then, and I just haven't been able to break it. I've tried, and literally just over an hour now from the first strike that I've had. It's felt better. The pain has gone away. Just everything is just mashing up. It feels amazing, and the nice thing is I've now got something that when I go to my range practice sessions or whatever, David's actually given me some pointers, and he said, okay, well, focus on this, and now my range sessions, I can actually take some time and make them beneficial, as opposed to just mashing through a whole bucket, feeling irritated and grumpy at the end of it, and then going and playing around where I know that I can't hit it anyway, so I'm not feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
And the difference is amazing.
It's been a good day.
David, thank you again.
No worries,
If they want to, because you're in Johor,
Desiree, yeah.
in Desiree,
Yeah.
how can, if they do want to contact you, get hold of you, how would they do it?
Yeah, so I mean, we have our website, so if you go onto the Els Club Desiree post, I have a link there with my email address. I might just pass you a card as well.
Yeah.
You can drop it down.
Yeah,
on
I'll
the
drop
link.
in the link.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to improve your game, if you want to first come and have a look what it does, I'm more than happy to do like a trial lesson, see if you like what I do, and then we can take it from there. But yeah, I think what you said there is important. I think go see someone. I mean, go see somebody that knows what they're doing. You can see the big difference in your game already, and I look forward to the next one. I think there's a lot of improvements still to come. I don't think it's going to end here. So thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thank
Cool.
you.
Thanks,
Oh,
mate.
amazing.
Thanks.
But right, let's give it a go.
Right. Just a few cuts. I'll grab those balls. So what we do? I don't know what we do.
I think just fine. Right.
Yep.
How felt that one? Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Right. Let's have a look.
Yep.
Cool. So that was 5 shots, and what do we see?
Yeah, so I mean, the cool thing about it is, like I said, it gives you all these numbers.
Yeah.
Something I could see when I was standing behind you especially was you sort of have the club face open at address.
Yeah.
And you can see it there, it's sort of 2.8 degrees open on average. And then obviously it's very hard for you to get that club back to impact square because it's so open. It's a lot like the golf swing. There's a lot of similarities. But now because the club face was open, what you were doing is you were almost cutting across it to get it started on line. Because if you had to take it back straight and the club face was open, you'd miss everything right. So it's something that you probably self-adjusted to.
Yeah, because the putting seems to be good. So, but what I have felt just naturally is that I aim to the left of the cup.
Yep.
So does that sort of line up with what?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. So if you're aiming left, and then you open up the putter face. You're basically countering those two things.
Okay,
so the first step would be get you aiming straight.
Okay, so I'm just basically, it's open, but I'm countering it
with your alignment.
With my alignment.
So you'll counter it with a few things. So a lot of guys will aim very far left with an open putter and swing very much to the right.
Okay.
Yours is not so severe, but your club face is quite open, so you're still going sort of out and across it a bit.
Okay.
And that's why you saw most of them they were starting almost online, but they were really going left at the end, because you were sort of almost putting topspin on it with that stroke.
Yeah.
Adding a bit of loft to it as well, so it was just creating a little bit of inconsistency.
Okay.
The other thing that I see, so if we go, you can see there it's open again at impact. The stroke itself in terms of rotation is very good.
Yeah.
So there's not a hell of a lot of this going on, which is what I like to see. Obviously there's a natural arc, and it does happen because of the nature of the shoulder. So a little bit of an arc is good. You can see it's opening a little bit and then it's coming through closed, very similar. So that's why you've got a really good rating there of 93, which is really good.
Cool.
Again, why you're a good putter is that, because it's very consistent. So the amount of rotation, you're sort of making the same stroke every time, which is a good thing. I mean, that's really nice. You can see what I mean here. So this is saying your stroke is going 1.5 left, and that's basically what I was saying. So if that's where you are, your putter's going this way. Okay. Because the putter face is open. So it's a very quick fix. I did it in my video of the week last week for the Yales Club, actually, with the guy, where we put an alignment stick under his arm so he can feel where he's aiming, because the alignment stick shows immediately where you're going. So for you, it would be closing off the shoulder, standing a bit more square, and then feeling like you close the club face, and then the club face will actually be square. Okay. So it just, and we'll do it again, and you'll see it's a very big difference. Maybe the next time you come in, we'll do it, and then you can see what feels like really close and aiming way right is actually square. But for now, what you can do is just shift your body a bit to the right, and then just feel like you close that club face a touch. I mean, it's 3 degrees. It's not that much, but it does make a difference. Yeah. I mean, that will just get my consistency that much higher. And then if you are doing it a little bit from out to in, it's still going to be okay. It will probably be 1 degree instead of 3 degrees. Okay. And then we can fix that at a later stage again. Okay. But that immediately, just aligning yourself a bit more right and closing the club face a bit more help. Awesome. Again, strike very good. Yeah. So those 2 things are obviously the most important. Your strike is very nice. Your rotation is very nice. So you're going to get a very good roll in that ball because it's very consistent, which is good. Another interesting thing here is your putter's toe up. Oh, okay. I saw that a little bit. You're very sort of hunched over. Yeah. So the way of fixing that would be just to stand a bit straighter, so a bit taller. Okay. So when I'm doing that, I'm sort of thinking the rotation is round, so I get low, so it goes straighter. So the lower you get, the straighter back it's going to go. Yeah. The taller you get, the more, and that'll naturally come, because the taller you get, the more you're going to rotate this way. So you want to rotate a little bit in to out. So it needs to go in and then come square and then in, but it's fraction. So it can be straight, but you don't want it to be left, because then you're going to pull everything. So we'll get you to stand a bit taller next time you come in. That'll fix those 2 things. So your path will already be straighter. So that's 3 big things. Your face at address and impact are going to be squarer. Your rotation's going to be better, and I think with that lie angle you're going to strike it even better, which is amazing. You'll be even more consistent, which is good. And I mean, you can see why you're a good putter once again. You're launching that, so that's your launch angle, 0.0. Yeah. A lot of the time guys come in, it's like 3.2, 3.4, which means it's getting a bubble before it starts rolling. Your balls tend to roll very nicely. Oh, nice. So that's a good thing. All of these things I'm very happy with. You're sort of keeping that putter nice and low to the ground. But it's just those little things, you're missing putts right and you're wondering why. Yeah, you're aiming a little bit right with that club face. So if we get that, you'll putt even better. So you're going to cut even more strokes off your game. So for you, it's just standing taller, and then fixing that club face angle with the alignment. That's it. Once we've done that, you'll immediately see better putting, even better than what you have been. So, that's just another very quick way. It's not taken long. It's taken me 2 minutes to read that. So I think once we get that right, we get the swing right, we'll be on our way to 80s. Bring it on. Right. So yeah, we'll get into that next time. But I think for today that's good. We got the swing where we wanted for now, and then we know what we need to work on, and then we'll head on to a bit of putting next time, and then we'll carry on with some swing. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, you. Mate.